It's time I've made this video. In the past, while the Mueller investigation started up, as soon as Trump was elected, like the moment CNN, Fox News, and MSNBC, the cable news networks, the moment, it said is the president elect. The moment Trump won the election, keep in mind, I didn't vote for Trump. But the moment Trump won the election, all hell broke loose. The Mueller investigation started. The whole Russia colluded with our election stuff started. And all stuff like that. So when all this started back in November 2016, I was very, 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 very uber skeptical about the Russian government meddling in the 2016 election, because it just struck me as crazy how the people who said Trump was nuts, that he wouldn't concede right away to losing the election if Hillary won, were now having a hard time conceding to Trump that since Hillary lost. And the late, great Ed Schultz, who worked on RT, Russia Today News in America, RT America, lambasted Hillary Clinton, and rightfully so, for, having somebody else speak on her behalf so she would concede the next day to Trump, instead of, doing what she should have done, instead of doing what Trump would have done if Hillary won. Keeping that in mind. So when the Mueller investigation started, I was very skeptical. Every time a piece of their information came out, it came off like this crazy Alex Jones, Glenn Beck conspiracy theory. The stuff that you would see on a blackboard, and the stuff that, connecting the dots to nonsensical stuff. What I mean is, originally when this Russia meddling in the U.S. election started, it was so crazy. It pretty much sounded like, I'm an Elvis fan, so I'll use this as an example. The Elvis fans who keep denying Elvis died on August 16th, 1977. The people who say that Elvis got a replacement person to die in his place while Elvis took off to the Bahamas to lose weight and get away from fame and fortune and all that stuff. Those types of conspiracy theories. Well, that's how the Russia meddling in the U.S. election came off as. It came off as that batshit fucking nuts. And you had people like Rachel Maddow, who was once a respectable journalist, now is the Bill O'Reilly of MSNBC. She'll literally say or do anything just to keep her job instead of being an honest journalist. But anyway, so now that after 2.5, maybe more so years, 2.5 years later, here's the evidence. Russia did try to meddle with the U.S. election. Isn't conclusive based on the Mueller indictments. How much did they meddle? That is not conclusive yet, but there is hard facts that Russia did meddle with the U.S. election. But it's not conclusive how much. However, the question is, did Trump know about this? Because I see a lot of anti-Trump people. I'm anti-Trump. I am. But I'm not this, he's a traitor person. I'm not going to call President Trump a traitor unless there's evidence he knew about it. And here's the thing. It's possibility he did know about it. And hear me out. I'm saying it's a possibility. It's 50-50. It's possible he had no fucking idea. Because Trump was like the Howard Stern of the Republicans. He was saying stuff for shock value to get attention. So when in the Mueller investigation, they point out that when Trump said during one of the campaigns, Russia, if you're listening, find Hillary's emails and all that. Well, apparently to the Mueller investigation, they actually were listening. But I'm questioning if they really did. I'm not questioning the indictments. I'm not questioning the findings because the findings are legitimate. However, Trump was a shock jock. So there's a possibility Trump said that just to shock people. But there's also a possibility that he fucking knew that they were trying to meddle with the election. Now, if there's information that comes out that says he had no idea Russia was meddling with the U.S. election and that Vladimir Putin has been gaslighting Trump, from the get-go, then we have to have these 12 Russian operatives from the Russian government who meddled in the U.S. election to bring them here and give them a fair trial. And it will be a major federal grand jury trial. And Trump will be exonerated from any suspicion if it comes out that he and anybody in his cabinet had no idea. However, the question is, if Trump knew right from the get-go that there was Russia meddling, if anybody in his administration or anybody close by him knew that's treason, then he should be impeached. Because I wasn't going to say impeach Trump when there was no reason to say so. But if there is treason involved here, then impeach him. But also I want to mention this. What trial should Trump get? Should he get a fair trial? Absolutely. If there is proof that he did commit treason. However, if there's evidence that he didn't know, then Democrats, you got to stop saying he's a traitor. Because that's going to cost you the midterms in November. You have 4 months to get people to vote for you in November. You have 4 months to form a platform. While the Mueller investigation is still going on, build a platform for people to vote for you on. In the meantime, however, I will say this. Anybody that doubts the finding of the Mueller investigation, left or right, I don't care what political spectrum you're on, you're denying hardcore evidence that Russia tried to meddle in the U.S. election, which is a problem. Now, what irritates me the most is that you have Trump's supporters who are so latched to him, so loyal to him, that they will not believe that Trump could possibly have done something that's treacherous to the United States and its Constitution and its law. So this is my video saying I was wrong about there being zero evidence. There is evidence now. So I'm not going to deny that. I said there was zero evidence in the past because I wasn't going to say there was evidence if there was legitimately none. But now there's hardcore evidence. So therefore, I will not deny that evidence that was laid out on the table by Mueller. Yet. I will not call Trump a traitor unless there's more evidence saying that he knew. Because traitor is a heavy, heavy, heavy word. Traitor is a heavy, 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 heavy word. Keeping that in mind. Is he a liar for saying there was zero Russia meddling? Yes. Did he pathologically lie to the American people and his supporters? Yes. Should Trump be politically shamed by the Republican Party for pathologically lying and gaslighting people? Yes. Should the Republicans do something about possible traitors in their party who knew? Yes. Republicans who find this video and you're watching it, do not take this indictment lightly. It's one thing for an American citizen to leak information about what the DNC has and what the RNC has. That's one thing for a U.S. citizen to do it. But for a foreign agent who we don't have the best relationship with to hack our system during an election year to try to persuade the vote, that's fucking terrifying. If that does not terrify you, I don't know what the fuck does. If the breach of your privacy does not matter to you, I don't know what the fuck does. Now, I want to break this down perfectly clear. I'm not calling Trump a traitor. I need to see hardcore evidence for that. Like I need to see hardcore evidence that Russia tried to meddle with the U.S. election. I've seen that evidence. Now I can't deny it. But I need to see hardcore evidence that Trump is a traitor before I call him that word. It's possible he committed treason, but it's also possible he had no fucking idea the Russian government was doing this. So it's 50-50. Okay? Now, this is not hysteria. This is kind of red alert. This is red alert. People who think that this is hysteria, you are mistaken. You are sorely mistaken. When you have a foreign agent hacking our system during an election year, and you think that this is hysteria, you're mistaken. It's not hysteria. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time.